Welcome to Mouth Full From Mandy. We are making veggie soup today. Using some of the ionized water that Aaron used during his juicing. We're going to go over just kind of how to cut some of the vegetables. I cut most of them already. This is kind of use what you have. You know, we're using what we had from the juicing. We're using whatever vegetables we picked up. So measurements are not as important. You know, add as much as you'd like to your veggie soup according to what vegetables you like. Okay, so carrots, I peeled it. You want to cut off each end and then just cut it in half.
Half-ish.
Ish, exactly. Bite-sized pieces is what we're getting for. So just throw your knife through.
Is that a specific cutting technique?
No.
There's no name for that?
No.
Name? Just run your knife through it.
Exactly.
All right.
Diced. Green bean, you want to take this end. You always take it off. Okay. And same thing, we're just going to throw our knife through it. You're just thinking, I got to be able to fit in your spoon. Okay. Celery, same thing. You cut off both of the ends. I cut this in half. The celery piece, just because, you know, you want to have it bite-sized. They cook down a little bit, but not a whole lot. Celery will cook down a little bit more than the carrots will, or the green beans.
They get mushier?
Yeah, I love celery in soup. I think it holds a lot of flavor. Asparagus, take the end and you just bend it, okay? This part that comes off is super tough, so it doesn't hold up very well. You don't ever eat it. No, it ends up just waste.
Throw your knife through it. Right.
Throw my knife through?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mushroom.
Throw your knife through it.
Yeah, and then when you wash mushrooms, you never like run it underwater. What you do is take a paper towel and you just kind of rub the dirt off of it. If you run the water under it, it absorbs all the water, and then it's no longer going to absorb the flavor when you're cooking it.
No.
Potato. We're doing 3 different, like they're little baby potatoes. Purple.
It's
White.
like a beet.
It does a little bit. And red. I like, you know, variety of color because when it comes to soup, you're going to have everything in there. It just really has a lot to do with the color of it. Okay. Kale. You take your stem off. You just pull this. The stem towards the end is okay, but you want to pull off the big parts. Green kale. Pull this off. Take your clove, side of your knife, hit it with it. You take off your peel, and we did bigger chunks of garlic in this.
Throw your knife through it.
Yeah, exactly. Throw your knife through it. I think you're getting the hang of it, Aaron. Okay, and the last but not least is our onion. Keep on your stem. It's going to hold it together while we cut it. The root. Okay. Peel off the outer layer of onion. And to get a dice, this is how we're going to cut it to get a dice. There's different ways to cut an onion to get different shapes. So you take your knife and you go along here. Don't go all the way down. You almost go down to the edge, but you don't want to go all the way through. Okay. And I'm going to take this. Okay, and then the last cut is this way, and I'll cut it into the little pieces if you want. Ooh, this is a strong onion.
Any tricks to not keep yourself from crying?
Yeah, you're supposed to. So the only reason you cry is this is the only living tissue your body sees is your eyeball. Been told if you stick out your tongue, it gets living tissue. It does the onion juice will go to that living tissue.
Huh.
No, you can just stand there.
I guess.
Somebody said that if you freeze them, it's supposed to help, but I've never found that helpful. Some people wear goggles. I don't own goggles, but I also don't know how helpful that would be because the moment you take off the goggles, it's going to hit your eyes anyway. Unless you want to wear goggles all day. Woo!
Steamy. Brocollini.
And then we have, oh yeah, the broccoli. Take our broccoli. I washed it. Literally just going to the ends intact. The nice thing about broccoli is the stems are really good and nice and tender. So I'll cut off just the ends just because they end up a little bit dirty.
Unlike asparagus, you can eat most of the ends.
Yeah, exactly. Let me just throw it nicely.
Very nice.
Okay. Keep them kind of separate. This is going to take less long to cook, so I'm not going to, like, this won't be sauteed. This will be a little bit.
This stuff's still tougher.
Yeah, exactly. So, over to our stove. A couple teaspoons of olive oil. Okay. Let it heat up a little bit. And we're going to add the onion, the celery, and the carrots first.
And the garlic.
You want to add, don't add garlic straight to the pan. A lot of people add it first. Garlic has a tendency to burn. You want to make sure that it's kind of on top of the other vegetables.
Huh.
It's kind of a fallacy. Everybody's like, oh, always add garlic first. You don't really want to always do that.
Fallacy.
Fallacy. Good word. Trim that down a little bit.
Became a breakfast soup
Yeah,
because we fell asleep last night before we got to it.
it's a long day. I've been up since 6 a.m.
Yeah, you were up early.
Yeah. I'm gonna season at every level. So we're gonna add a little bit of pepper. Not a lot for flavor.
Right there.
And then we'll let this cook and everything else cook for 5 minutes. Cook down.
Saute.
Once this cooks for about 5 minutes, that's when I'll add garlic when I'm sauteing the other veggies. If garlic burns, you can taste it throughout the whole thing. You don't want to burn your garlic. It'll ruin your entire dish. Yeah. And the nice thing is, like, you don't really, like, after this cooks a little bit, you can add it because it's going to add a little bit of flavor, but it's going to add flavor throughout the dish when it's in the liquid and everything like that. So you don't need to, you don't have to add it.
Especially sauteed or anything.
Yeah, exactly. You just ate raw potato. That's not going to be good at all.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, I know what it tastes like.
Really?
Yeah.
Raw potato is not my favorite thing in the world. It's not good. I don't like it.
I like it.
Honey soup, I always add a starch. So, like this or rice or barley or pasta. Gives it a little bit more little more body, and it's like the starch in it always absorbs all of that flavor that's in the sauce, all of the veggies.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kale we're putting in there.
Yeah, it'll cook down. Greens cook down.
It's not gonna be all bitter and gross, right?
Oh, not at all. No, and I love kale in soup because it actually, it'll cook down a little bit, but it actually holds more of its texture than other greens, where it's like spinach will just get limp and kind of.
Mushy.
Yeah, exactly. This won't. It'll have a little bit of like.
Rigidity?
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't say crunch because it's not quite crunchy.
That makes sense.
But it's nice. One pot is really like an easy cook. A little bit, and then it'll be. We'll put in ingredients that need to be sauteed a little bit. We'll just put them on quick, and then it'll like sit and let it boil for 20, 30 minutes.
Cool.
Yeah. So you're gonna add veggies depending on how much sauteing you need. So I really think this will be, obviously just in the liquid, just like boiled potatoes. But you need to add that saute. You do that for green beans. You kind of tell just by the feeling of it how hard it is.
They need to be sauteed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vegetables have to be sauteed a little less. So add our green beans, our asparagus.
Do you add any more oil now at this point, or is there enough oil coated on those other ones that?
There's enough oil coated on the other ones.
Huh.
If you see your pan getting sealy, you can tell there's liquid in the bottom. If you see
Okay.
them getting dry, then you might want to add more. You don't really need to. You want to season at every level. You add some more veggies, add some more seasoning. Make sure that you're.
That one
not
doesn't
too
grind
much
very well,
salt.
huh?
No, this thing sucks. I'd rather have fresh ground, but
Yeah, that one doesn't do anything.
I
Really.
like to see lemons.
You
You
use
cook with
plastic pepper.
Yeah.
Plastic pepper pot.
And there's enough veggies in there that I'm completely comfortable adding the garlic, just because it's not going to mean that it won't be touching it.
Yeah. And there's water on the bottom pan, or liquid.
Yeah. The brocollini stems. Sorry, just grabbing everything. Oh, it smells good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it does. Very good.
Big pot of vegetables.
They get and fungi.
Yeah, right? Fungus is the closest, it's closest to DNA than anything else, the human DNA. Like, vegetables aren't closer, anything else isn't closer. Fungus is actually the closest to human DNA.
Yeah, mycelium network, like a neural network.
That's crazy.
Yep. Pretty crazy. Pretty great, Gray.
This is your closest living relative. The mushroom.
Fantastic world of fungi.
Right?
Documentary by Paul Stamets.
Really?
Yep.
I like to see it was Neil deGrasse Tyson
Mm-hmm.
live, and he was the one talking to us about mushrooms.
Well,
Yeah. It was a really interesting talk
yeah.
about the universe.
Sounds very interesting.
Sit and chill.
It's also just before 8 in the morning here because Cam, I said, a morning stew. So we're also in our wake up moods or modes.
Yeah, can you tell? Not much of a morning person.
Both of us are going to be talkative. Like,
Yeah. Right.
no,
I
no.
slept through 20 minutes of like alarm.
Oh, I thought you might have. I called you at one point too.
Yeah, I mean, I slept through my alarm.
Yeah.
Completely. mushrooms.
And that fungi. Do you saute the kale at all? These both just going. These both just going in the water.
Yep. Liquid.
And this too in the water.
That's just tomato. If I like it, it gives the broth a little bit more flavor and a little more body.
Yep.
So add some tomato.
Like adding starch. Might thicken it up.
So you want to add, like, we'll saute for a couple more minutes, but you want to make sure your onions are like see-through before you add your liquid.
Because when we add liquid, they're going to stay at that level of cookedness.
That onion will, yeah.
The onion, yeah.
The onion doesn't really cook. Like if you just throw it in water, it doesn't get much flavor and get much cooking of it. It just absorbs water.
Huh.
You know, everything else will cook more into the liquid. Like the celery will cook more, the carrots will cook more. It's just the onion doesn't.
Yeah.
For some reason. I always add, we added like 5-6 cloves of garlic. I like garlic. I always add a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Because, you know,
Looks super appealing.
If you get the vid,
Mm-hmm.
lots of veggies, really good amount of nutrients. And the nice thing about veggies too is you can add whatever vegetables you like. If you don't like any of this stuff, just keep it out. If you like some other veggies, add it. I mean, it's really about your own personal preferences.
Trying to remember the science on like the lack of nutrients in cooked food versus raw food.
Yeah, there's less nutrients. There's less vitamins and stuff. But
I wonder if it's over certain temperatures, so it's like level of cookedness. But I wonder if how much stir fry does.
yeah, I don't know. I know that like the raw food diet is supposed to like help that, and you're not supposed to cook anything over like 180 degrees.
Yeah, something like that.
Um,
And kill breaks down the enzymes in there or something.
Yeah, I like cooked vegetables, so
yeah. Well, it's like it's the difference between soul food and potentially healthy food. It doesn't mean it's bad for you, I guess, or at least our bodies are used to it, but screw up on it.
Well, you know, eating a whole plate of raw kale is not something I do. I'd eat it cooked and cooked. I could that much kale and cooked too.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Or onions are pretty see-through.
So now what do we do? Liquid vegetable stock. We're gonna add the water first.
Add the vegetable stock first. Let's see what levels to bring it up to.
Jeez. That seems ridiculous for a plastic thing. There you go.
My hands are wet. I'm washing them.
So this one specifically, we're supposed to be making. Somebody came over last night. The whole 30.
Yeah.
No sugar added.
Yeah. It didn't work out that way.
Yeah. They're corn on the cob mushrooms. It's great.
Yeah. Just weird. I don't remember what's called this weird 17 movie, but it was good.
17. Oh, I've seen the title. I have no idea what it's about though.
Yeah, it's just about like this girl that's got issues.
Right.
For sure. But she's like, I don't know, like it's just her working for shit. Like figuring out that everybody's got their own shit to deal with. And she finally figures it out.
All right, this is the water. We're going to be playing video here shortly, actually showing you what this water is from. This is distilled water with ionic minerals, trace minerals that have been added to it. This is what we use when we're juicing some celery and carrot juice yesterday morning. We'll play that video on here shortly.
Okay, so again, season. More cayenne.
Cayenne.
We're going to add the rest of our ingredients. Potatoes.
So this is it. Now they just all go in and Soup it up.
Yeah, and then we're gonna bring it to a boil. And then we will throw a lid on it and let it, once you bring it to a boil, bring it back down to a simmer, throw a lid on it and let it sit for 20 minutes. 30, 40 minutes, but
So how do you know if you have enough water? Because there's a lot of kale. Like,
this is the kale will, don't worry about the kale.
Yeah.
Like if it were okay with the level before the kale of water to vegetable, that's fine. The kale will break down.
Makes sense.
So, the thing is like, you don't want to add too much liquid because then you're not going to get the flavor. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be too much solid to liquid right now. This will break down. It will end up more liquidy.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You the cook.
It's just it's the waiting game. It's bringing it to a boil and then simmering it and putting a lid on it.
All right. Cool. Let me go. I'm going to play the videos from this morning. Let's see. I'll do this real quick.
Welcome to a mini Mouth Full from Mandy. Aaron got me juicing a little bit with him. He's been doing some celery and carrot juice. I'm going to have him go over a lot of recipes because I am not super familiar with it. And then in a later episode, we're going to kind of use some of the leftovers from this in recipe.
Okay. Okay, so I may not cook a lot, which we discovered in the last episode and talked about, but I haven't looked a lot into other aspects of health and body stuff and juicing. So this is a slow torque juicer. This compresses, saves the most amount of nutrients out of the juice itself. So we've got cut up yesterday. Come look at this stuff. So we've got celery that Mandy cut here and carrots, heirloom carrots and things. And I put them in to soak overnight just so they stay fresher, and especially the celery, more juice in that. What I put in is distilled water. Distilled water is 0 TDS. There's actually nothing in here except for water. And that distilled water itself is, I believe, negatively charged. And what it does is take anything, viruses, bacteria, negative things in your body, will actually pull them through your body. So you can look it up. Distilled water actually is good for your body for most people, in my understanding. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I don't have any qualifications. So everything I'm sharing here is my own research and my own experience with my own body. This is just my advice and what I've done for my body, for myself. So you're an adult, do what you want to do. These are things that I've learned and how I understand them. So distilled water, it can actually be very beneficial if you actually look into some of the research. There are people drinking distilled water for a gallon a day, and after 90 days, 30 to 90 days, a gallon of distilled water a day, they'll even return their hair color. I mean, white, gray head of hair will return their hair color and nutrients back to their hair. Really interesting stuff with that. But you can also add trace ionic minerals. So these are ionized trace minerals. This is post-plant processed minerals, and these can be added to your distilled water. So your body can actually absorb these. This is Amazon. This is 15 or 20 bucks. Actually, this is Earthshift product. Is Dr. Robert Kassar in Hawaii. He's got a lot of incredible products, and there's a lot of videos there about all this stuff also, and experiments and all sorts of other things. This is post-plant processed minerals. They're actually able to be absorbed by your body, whereas the electrolytes and a lot of things in bottled water, they actually aren't. They're pre-post-plant processed minerals that your body, that crystallize in your body and burden your arteries and things. And so
So it's just easier for your body to process than electrolytes and everything that's added to the water.
It's bioavailable. It's actually ready for your body to use in the way that we. So some other things we got here, this is from Host Fence, this is Paul Stamets. These are different mushroom supplements for energy and for immune system support. All the COVID stuff, what we're not hearing as much of, it sounds like to me, is what to do to boost your immune system. Mushrooms and things are an incredible way, a bunch of this stuff as well.
Aaron also did this to me when I was hungover, and it's amazing.
Also that. This is another thing they talk about, niacin. Paul Stamets uses this in his mushroom microdosing protocol. This, in short, allows blood to get through peripheral nervous system in ways that it normally doesn't before. So you're allowing your blood to actually get through. It's what people flush, and you can get blotchy, but you can do different, oh gosh, it's called gua sha or similar things, just a technique to smooth your face. But brushing your lymphatic system and your skin to smooth that out as it moves through your body. A lot of information here, a lot of little tidbits. So I just throw it in one little video because I know a lot about a little, or I know a lot about a lot, but they all overlap, and there's always more to learn. So
Take tidbits and research them.
Yeah.
You know, figure your own stuff out.
So we've got these soaking in, but we're going to talk about all that. This is distilled water plus ionic minerals, so it just adds additional minerals to that, to the juices here. Now, as we're juicing, this one does a really good job. Slow torque juicers, like I said, so it's full back here.
Okay, what's the difference between a slow juicer and faster juicer?
So they have different purposes and applications. We're trying to get the most nutrients and things out of the juicer, out of the materials. The slower the juicer, the better. So it's not going to pulverize the cells and shred them to pieces. It'll crush them in the ways that actually is beneficial for your body, if I'm remembering that right.
So to get more nutrients, you want to use a slower juicer.
Yes.
Okay.
And then this is a structured water device. Actually, this guy right here. So it's got some spheres in here, geometric patterns and things on the inside. You can't really tell. Yeah. But what it does is the water cascades through. It actually allows the water to restructure and allows it to be more bioavailable for your body. A lot of times drink water, and a lot of it is unable to be absorbed.
So this is just about getting all the nutrients, all the best things about them into your body.
Yeah, as efficiently as possible.
Okay.
Bioavailable as possible, the prep we do, or the getting raw and organic and locally grown, because it has local antibodies and things like local honey and things can help within 2 months. I think, taking local honey and people just being able to resolve allergies and things.
Oh yeah, allergies. The first thing you're supposed to do when you move to a new place is get raw honey from that area to help with allergies.
And then the enema dynamic. So coffee enema is a lot of things. You want to look into Gerson therapy. It's very, very medically proven therapy based on my own research. I'm not a doctor here, but do some research. There's a documentary out there that does a really good job on a lot of remedies that we just haven't heard about, that used to be in the papers, used to be public, 60, 70 years ago, of the forbidden cures of cancer. And one of them, they talk about Gerson therapy, but it's a whole other holistic dynamic, includes coffee enemas. Enemas used to be recommended by the Merck manuals, I believe, up in the early 1900s in the United States. Kind of fell out of modern medical technology or awareness. Not because it's not effective, but in my opinion, because it doesn't make money. If you heal yourself, you don't need the medical industry. So I'm not saying the medical industry is irrelevant. What I'm saying is it seems very, very unbalanced. We've forgotten how to do things like this to take care of our bodies.
Right. No, most medicine comes from plants and all those things anyway. Like people just don't. I don't think people really understand that.
Right, and that's
like even aspirin. Come on.
Yeah, right from tree bark.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's forgotten now.
So with this stuff, I'm gonna get closer in here. So if you cut them up into small, like 1 or 2 inch pieces, it makes it easier to break down. This thing does a great job, but still, it can get really caught up. That's part of the different expensive juicers too, is the ease of cleaning, how often they break down or get caught up, filled up with fiber and stuff from other things that they are processing.
It's also a nice thing about having Erin is he gets a nice expensive juicer and I just get the juice. So.
That's true, and she helps me clean. That's a bonus.
Uh-huh.
And with enema too, just that was talking about a coffee enema. I did one of those this morning for the first time in over a year actually. But regular, just freshwater enemas, or as we were saying, distilled water with ionic minerals. It's something that they've studied. The average person can do 42 of them before their actual bowels return to normal size and get a bunch of the extra crud up there. And a lot of us have mucoid plaque and different things. That is not a conspiracy theory. It's a very well researched thing. But most of us have anywhere from 10 to 30 pounds of hardened plaque in our digestive system because of our sad American diet, and we don't know any better. So we're learning how to heal our bodies. We're learning how to heal ourselves.
Bye, Patty. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you later.
Oh, bye, Patty. And hi, Patty. So yeah, so that's all there. So this stuff, the celery juice in the morning, this is a big kick, I think, this last year. And I usually do it. We did this yesterday. I did twice as much yesterday. This will run right through you and grab a whole lot of stuff on the way.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
That's right. When Mandy did it.
The first time I was sick at the time too, and I did it, and it was like within like 10 minutes, it was like, oh my god, I gotta run to the bathroom.
Yeah, we were sitting here chatting, just talking. She goes, I gotta go to the bathroom. Boom, and she was gone. So anyway, yeah, well, one thing. And last thing here, I'll put right here. So we're gonna do I'm gonna do some carrots after this. We're gonna have some carrot juice, and then we're gonna take the broth or whatever water from this and make tonight we'll do a stew and do another episode, I guess. It's just real simple. Maybe we'll do
for water. So using just leftovers as much as we can to get as much nutrients out of it and cook ourselves dinner tonight.
And the water itself is already structured because it's been soaking with some plants. I've also run it through the structuring device. Probably do it again, just pouring it through. And all of this just makes it more bioavailable for your body. So this is different ways of adding energy, if you will, or ways of transmuting energy and changing the function and the effects of how it goes into our bodies. And the last thing I want to say is fire cider. So fire cider makes me, you remember, didn't you?
Yeah, there was shallot, habanero pepper,
I think so.
garlic,
onion,
onion, and
ginger
and vinegar.
More than that, with ginger, horseradish. What else? There's a bunch of stuff in there, but it's, I think it's called the bubonic plague recipe or whatever. But it kills all believe gram-negative bacteria in the body.
You know what? It is everything that's in it makes an incredible dressing.
Oh yeah, very tart.
Great
Mince it all up, put apple cider vinegar in there, raw apple cider vinegar, and it's antibacterial, but it's not a broad spectrum antibiotic. It kills everything. It only kills the negative bacteria in your gut microbiome in your body. So it's really great for, if you use it after you brush your teeth, actually in the morning. Kills all the negative bacteria. Can really help with halitosis and because it's actually super beneficial. It's all.
So how do you use it after you brush your teeth? You just drink it, or do you use it as mouthwash?
Take it to consume, like just wash it around like a mouthwash and swallow it. Because it's actually gonna. You have a lot of bad. If you've already brushed your teeth, I usually just drink it, just wash around, gurgle it, swallow it, and you can do that. Especially if you're feeling sick, you can do that several times a day. So it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing what you can do to your body to boost your immune system and feel a lot better, and then there's less risk of COVID or anything else.
Right. And Aaron's all about all of this stuff and looking at the nutrients. And for me, it's like, how can I use it in food so that it's more available to people like me who's not, who aren't super into that and haven't really researched it. It's like, it's going to be good for me, and I can find ways that I can handle it.
That's funny because you know food and cooking way better than I do. I know certain things well, but like it's nice to be able to mix the two, and we're always learning, and we're always finding our own routines and patterns and things that work for our bodies.
Yeah, sorry. Good comment. I need to get from Jordan. I need to get me a juicer, and we'll have to make sure I'm stocked up in toilet cleaning supplies if I do this. And that's
true.
So true, but it's so delicious.
Or just let it pass right through, and then jump in the shower again. Good way to do it too. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's the short for today.
And then we will see you guys later tonight. We're gonna make some soup out of this, and I'm gonna drink the juice.
Yay!
Thanks.
You got me do it. All right. Take care, guys.
Garlic, and we need onion and mini mouthful from Mandy. We're in the produce section.
And we're going to be real close to Mandy's face because she's got a bandana because that's what we have to do to buy food right now.
Yeah. So what we're doing is we're for veggie soup tonight. We're literally going to walk through the produce section, see what looks good, and figure out what we're going to put in our soup that way. We have no recipe. This is the best way to do it. This honestly is my happy place, the produce section in any grocery store, but this one specifically is like one of my favorites. So now we're going to creep. Aaron's going to creep behind me. It's weird.
A little bit.
Yeah.
That's what we got to do.
So.
It's the Rona, man.
Rona. We're going to do some.
What stands out to you and why?
Green beans. I love green beans, and they hold up really well in soup. They have a really good flavor.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
This is going to go with our broth from the vegetables we juiced this morning.
Yeah.
Or I call it broth, but it's just the water.
Yeah, we're going to get a little bit of broth too, just because. So you want to have our veggies in there, but then you definitely want stuff with lots of flavor. So like garlic, we'll have an onion, and stuff that brings more aromas to it as well. So there's that. Celery always.
Celery always, why?
Because it's there's like the celery, carrot, and onion is the basics for soup. So it's like the three veggies that you always have in soup. You can obviously change that. It's just one of those
things. So it is
things.
just because it is.
Classic combo.
All right.
Yeah.
It's cool. That's all I need to know. What about cilantro? That sounds good.
cilantro. If we were doing like a Mexican style soup, I'd say yeah, but
Yeah.
not. You wouldn't do like a do cilantro corn and lime soup, but not right. I don't think it'll go with the rest of the veggies because I'm going to do garlic. We can do. We're going to do garlic, and we need onion, and we'll probably do some canned tomato. The juice from it's really good.
Canned tomato.
Yeah. So I like to get the juice, and I hate the skins on tomatoes.
Uh-huh.
When they cook, they kind of peel off. They're just a weird texture. It doesn't work with the rest of it. It's easier just to go canned. Grab an onion.
Why that onion, not the yellow or the? This one's-
Sweeter. These ones are a little bit sweeter. These ones have a little more bite. Better. These are better raw.
On salads
Yellow,
and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yellow onion.
This is like middle of the road onion.
Yeah, exactly. It's for kind of the basic for anything for cooking. These can also change the color of your soup to a purpley. And I don't like the purple color. And the
Okay.
other colors would pop out on their own.
Color
So
pop.
we'll do garlic as well. And you want to make sure like this one's good. It's got some good bulbs in it. You just want to make sure that it's kind of still together. Like the garlic bulbs are still like they're not super pulled apart. If they're pulled apart like that, that's not great.
Okay. You gonna hold the basket? I can hold the basket.
And we'll get some potato in there so that the potato will hold all of the flavors together and be just, you know, our carb in there that holds all the broth.
Okay.
Oh, we don't have to make that.
What's that?
We don't need a bag. The little colorful ones. You want to think color when you're thinking. Think food always.
Yeah,
You gotta eat
I
with your
very much
eyes.
agree with that.
And we can do broccoli as well. Broccoli or broccoli? Which one do you want?
Brocollini.
Okay.
Because it's less tough than stuff, right?
Yeah, it's more thin. It's got the stemmies, which are like
Or is that? Oh, so it's not. That's not stringy though, is it?
no.
Yeah, 'cause I feel like last time I don't remember when I had it, but I thought it was
It's
really
delicious.
good. Yeah.
I love broccoli.
What about asparagus? Is that a thing right now?
We can do
Right there,
asparagus.
up there. Boom. So good.
Yeah, I love asparagus. And the best thing about this kind of like you're gonna do stuff like this, it's really you can pick whatever the hell you want. You just gotta get good flavors in there, you know? And that's gonna be you cook the onions and the garlic and all of those flavors together and just make sure you season it right. You're good.
Yeah.
And we'll get some veggie stock as well, because you want just a little bit of stock to get more of that flavor. This could actually, you know, you could actually make veggie stock this way.
Is there anything else from over here?
So,
Ooh, mushrooms.
let's see, oyster mushrooms. See lion's mane. Have you ever seen it?
Yep. That'd be cool, but I don't know what they taste like.
I don't know. I'm not ready for it.
Not a mycologist. Mycologist, the study of them, but a mycologist cook, connoisseur, mayo cook,
Mayo.
something like that.
We're gonna do.
Mycelium. Oh, there's a chef sampler. Look at the chef sampler.
Yeah, it's oyster.
What about we get these two? Let's get those.
You want to get some stuffed
Oh, yeah.
mushrooms? You know we can just make stuffed mushrooms.
My hands are full. Either one.
No, they take a while to make. So let's get the ones that are extremely.
Yeah, that sounds so good. I definitely do. You gotta grab them though. All right, so most of the stuff there isn't really much to look for when you're grabbing it. It's either good or it's bad, right?
Yeah, you're gonna be able to tell. Like, you know, your mushrooms. You keep it together. You want to do those ones? Less like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just like them better that way. These are actually creminis are baby portobello mushrooms.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, they have the same flavor. They're very meaty in texture. I think let's take one last look. We could do parsley a little bit for flavor, but I don't think we'll need it. Oh, you know what would be good? Kale.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
And this is
That's
where
a
you
because it
crush
holds
it
up
first.
No, you don't need to massage it.
Massage it, yeah.
You want to massage it if it's a salad because you're eating it raw. When it's
Oh.
cooked, you don't need to massage
Like,
it.
to massage itself or get soggy or
Yeah.
whatever.
So, and like, we've got regular kale, you've got purple kale, and we're going to do the purple because there's nothing else purple in our basket, and it'll be pretty.
The tomatoes a little bit, but yeah. But
Yeah,
that's
the
purple.
potatoes, yeah,
They're red.
exactly. We've got a little bit more flavor, a little bit more color there, and it's got a nice texture. Okay,
Cool.
so we just need left. We need to get veggie stock, and then trying to think. That's it. That's it. I'll do a veggie, veggie soup.
I'll pause it and we'll go find veggie stock. You
Okay.
say which one you get and why.
Okay. So,
Okay. When you're looking for a broth, what are you looking for and why?
well, you want to do a stock or
Stock.
in a broth. Stocks have more flavor to them.
Than broth?
Yeah.
A stock was probably stocked with more items, huh?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Kind of like that. They just have more flavor. I'm gonna look and make sure there's no sugar in it because we were making this Whole 30.
Whole 30 approved.
See, it's got organic evaporated cane syrup, so I don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
and sugar. So you don't want sugar. Yes, and we can do broth if we need to, but we can find stock with no sugar. It's much better. See, no sugar. So,
Cool.
I mean, you look at this. It looks like organic. It's going to be vegan. It's gluten-free. It's got all the great stuff. Kitchen basics, better for you.
Fantastic.
If you want to sugar in your stuff, if you want to taste sweet, do it yourself. And do it
Agreed.
with, sweetness. Add sweetness with honey or something better. It's just much better for you. Okay? And that is grocery shopping.
Well done. If I do it again,
Yeah.
hold on. That'll be the image.
That is
Do
grocery
it.
shopping.
Oh, they're done. Yep.
Just finishing up our soup here, guys.
So it's their soup, just chocked full of veggies. You want to make sure your potatoes are fork tender so that they actually,
Pierce them with a fork.
yeah, exactly. And your fork comes out really easy. That's when you know it's ready.
So is that mainly what you're looking for? Is it kind of looks like that? Like it's all kind
Yep.
of mushed down a little bit?
Exactly. And you have great flavors. I mean, the nice thing about these kind of soups is you can freeze them. And then, heat them up anytime you want. A big pot of soup can last you a week, and you can, or even longer in the freezer. And then you'll have all this, vegetable soup anytime you want it.
And that's it for seasoning? Just the salt, pepper, cayenne,
Yeah, and garlic.
and garlic.
I'm a very simple seasoning person.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
You guys have a great day.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.